One of my most favorite things in the world are swords, and today I want to talk to you about the Strider sword from Lord of the Rings. So longtime viewers of my channel may know that I talk a lot about sci-fi, a lot about, sonic screwdrivers and lightsabers and all those kinds of things, and they're really exciting, they're really fun to talk about. I really like that kind of thing. However, my heart is always in the Middle Ages. It's always with swords, and so if there's a Swords and Sorcery movie, I'm probably there. That includes Lord of the Rings and Willow and you name it. I absolutely adore them. But I'm also very much a traditionalist when it comes to design and overall look. And one sword that I've always really enjoyed is Strider's from Lord of the Rings. Now this sword does go with Aragorn for the entire 3 films of the trilogy, but it does get a lot of showtime in the very first Fellowship of the Ring, which is where I really fell in love with it. It's not a really special design as far as overall look. It doesn't have any runes on it. It's got a very simple standard hilt design, a very standard blade. It's nothing really special as far as that's all concerned. What I like about it, aside from the character, is just how traditional, how it feels in the hand and how it looks, and it really drew me to it right from the beginning. Designed by Peter Lyons and Weta Workshop for the films, they went with, like I said, a really traditional look for it, and I think they really knocked it out of the park, and I've always wanted that sword. I've always wanted to feel having that very traditional sword, and I was never in a position to get it. Obviously, they did do a limited edition where you could purchase it for several $1,000s, and I could never even dream to be able to do that. And I never was able to get the United Cutlery version that came out when I was not at all in a position to collect at this point. So I was always kind of holding out for a knockoff, or even just whether or not I'd even have it in the first place. And I was very lucky. In 2018, I was at Fan Expo here in Vancouver, and I came across one of those Sunday last day sales, and I was able to get it for about $80 Canadian, or between $80 and $100 Canadian, and I was really stoked to get it. And it was really cool. The thing that I didn't like about it though is that it was covered in black leather or vinyl, and I had to find some way to change it myself, and I did. Now I didn't take a lot of pictures of that procedure, but basically to take apart the entire hilt and the scabbard and put them back together using leathers that I had scrap lying around, and I'm really happy with the result. Now, it's not a perfect replica. It's missing so many little details, no engravings or anything like that, but I just wanted to show it for now. So here's the sword. The hilt has a very standard construction as far as taking it all apart to get into here to actually change the leather. Basically, the pommel unscrews, the grip comes off, and then I was able to take off the existing ones, make a new pattern, and then cut it out of this green goat skin, and stitch it up, which was great, but it went together really well, and I thought right off the bat that it just makes it feel more Strider-like than the black. And these replicas that are all over the internet all typically just have black for whatever reason, but the green just makes it stand out. I was very happy with my wrap job. I think it came out pretty cool. Now the scabbard itself is a little interesting. The actual scabbards in the film were either wood or just leather, wet form scabbards for various reasons, and these are plastic, so there's no wood inside, it's just molded. So we made it very interesting to peel it off, pull this off, and put it back on, and using off all the original hardware. Now there's a few, like this is not an accurate scabbard, there's a lot of details missing from it, but it does have all the pieces to make it stand out, including the knife. And then I basically just rewrapped it, squeezed everything back on as tight as I could, glued it down. I left the metal piece that it had at the top here because the actual scabbard does not have that, and then rewrapped it. So it's not, like I said, not a complicated project to do. Really, I was really surprised at actually how easy this was to do, to take all the pieces off, go back through, and then rewrap it essentially with some green leather. So it makes it look a lot better. It's not as cheap looking, it makes it look pretty spectacular. Plus, it works and functions exactly as it should. And of course, no metal grating sound as it goes in, as it should. I haven't put it on a belt to test this yet, but it should hold up where it should. But yeah, I'm really excited. It's just pretty much gonna be a display piece. I'm not gonna do any costumes or cosplay with this, just for display. It is one of my favorite swords. I'm so happy to actually have it. One day I may update or upgrade, but for now I'm very happy with this. If you guys have any questions about this, like I said, I'm sorry I didn't take any pictures or progress, but it was mainly just taking off one material, making a pattern and cutting it out and putting it back on. So But yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know below. Which one's your favorite sword? Do you guys have a favorite sword in general? Like these swords you have to have? Do you have a favorite Lord of the Rings sword? I know some people really love Glamdring or Boromir's sword, both of which are beautiful designs. But this is probably the only Lord of the Rings one I'll get. But what are your favorites? Which one do you need to have? There are several swords that I still need to have, and I can't wait to get them and eventually share them with you guys. But there we go. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, so much for liking and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.